Hello. Today I will be sharing with you some basic information about copyright and fair use. Information from this presentation was gained by Copyright Clarity, How Fair Use Supports Digital Learning by Renee Hobbs. I'm your narrator, Rihanna Dolans. Welcome on our journey of copyright and fair use. Congress was given the power to create copyright laws under the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. The Founding Fathers' intent was to promote art and science while giving the owners exclusive rights to their works for a limited time. It took 200 years for Congress to create the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright is the right to own your original works, which includes things like promoting with movie posters, performing songs on the radio, adapting articles for magazines, reproducing art for postcards, displaying work in New York Times, selling a memoir, distributing through Target, and licensing through various companies. Within the Copyright Act, Section 107 discusses fair use. Copyright Clarity defines fair use as allowing people to use copyrighted materials without payment or permission under some circumstances. Now the question is, what circumstances are considered fair use? Well, I hate to break it to you, but fair use is not black and white. And I hate to say it, but you can't use a checklist to determine if you are following the fair use guidelines. Fair use requires you to think and also use your best judgment on a case-by-case basis. In order for you to decide whether you're breaking the fair use guidelines and copyright laws, Section 107 of fair use lays out 4 different factors. Now here's the thing. The 4 factors must be considered together in order to make your determination. You can't have one without the other 3. Factor 1. What is the purpose of character of you using the item? Are you looking to turn a profit or promote the copyrighted item? Are you using the item in an educational type setting? These are some really important things to consider and ask yourself. Now let's put number 1 in a real-world situation. For an upcoming poetry unit, one of the educational goals is to teach students about rhyme scheme and figurative language. You choose Katy Perry's Roar lyrics as an example and copy them onto a piece of paper or digitally in a slide. The second factor to consider is what is the nature and purpose of the original copyrighted work. Was it to promote something? Are you criticizing someone or something? Are you entertaining people? In order to meet fair use, your purpose should be different than the original work's intention. Going back to the lyrics in the poetry unit, Katy Perry's original purpose of the lyrics is to express feelings and give advice and encouragement. It was also written with the intention of being sung in front of audience or recorded for radio, CDs, iTunes, other digital forms of music. The third factor asks, what amount and substantiality of the original work is being used in relation to the whole copyright? For example, are you using an appropriate amount of the work compared to the length of the whole copyright? Think of it kind of like a fraction. When sharing the lyrics with the students, the entire Roar song could have been copied. However, after considering the educational goals, it was decided that only 3 stanzas were needed. The educational goal was met without using the entire song. The last factor, factor 4, asks how does fair use of the product affect the value of the original work and the potential market? Basically, if you sell this item, will the original owner lose money or value in the market? Additionally, will it be changed forever? After asking these questions, it was determined that Katy Perry wasn't going to lose any money by use of the portion of the song lyrics to teach kids about rhyming and figurative language. The music industry market was not going to crash because the lyrics were used in a literacy classroom. Promise. After considering all 4 factors, the poetry lesson using Roar lyrics were within the fair use guidelines. Notice how each factor was considered in the scenario to constitute fair use. You can't have one without the others. Hobbes mentioned that copying is part of creativity. People are influenced by others in their field and have been for thousands of years. Copernicus influenced Galileo, who then influenced Newton. And recently, Tarantino copied plots from his idols and became a 90s sensation. It's just part of the process, people. Copying is not claiming someone else's work as your own. That's illegal and also unethical. There can be legal ramifications too. You have to transform the original into something with a different purpose, like taking the Roar lyrics and using them for a poetry lesson to teach about rhyme and figurative language. Another part of fair use is transformativeness. This is when someone takes an original piece and transforms it into something with a different purpose or audience. Transformativeness is different for everyone and every copyrighted work. No two are treated the same. Educators must model for fair use with both our colleagues and students. With colleagues, misconceptions can be clarified and setting the standards for fair use. With students, they have to be explicitly taught and reinforced about fair use throughout the year and throughout their entire schooling. In summary, copyright and fair use must be determined through reasoning and judgment on each individual situation, and always using the 4 factors. Ultimately, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. You don't want to be stuck in a copyright pickle.